how would you like to make your first million? Today we have Troy Perkins with us, and he's the founder of Platinum 1911.com, and he is someone that have spent 20 years stay yearly entrepreneur, husband, and father. So Troy, tell us, what are the 5 steps you recommend entrepreneurs in order to make the first million?
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Well, awesome. Hey, thanks so much for having me, Harry. Yeah, you can break down the steps many different ways. So I picked 5. I looked at these together, see what I have. Number 1 would be research your craft. So there's knowledge out there is free, but you got to go get that and turn it into wisdom. So if you don't understand what that means, you got to research the difference between wisdom and knowledge. Like I said, knowledge is free. There's more books and literature out there that you could possibly read in 100 lifetimes. But how do you take that and then turn it into wisdom? So research that craft. And usually 90 days, you can become an expert on almost any subject. So number 2, is there a demand for your product or service? That's a lot of things. A lot of times people miss. They have this great idea, but nobody wants it. So I feel like, is there that demand? And a lot of times in this searching phase, you're going to change your actual product to fit what there is a need for. So number 2 would be, yeah, is there actually a demand for what you're trying to build? Number 3, if you find that there is a demand, can you actually make money from fulfilling the service? So that's another thing too. I mean, there's lots of stuff that people need, but if you're providing that service, can you make money from it? Let me give you an example. Gold or oil that's in the ground. When the price of gold hits a certain level, let's say gold's at 4,500 today. If it costs $5,000 to get the gold out of the ground, they can't mine it because they're going to lose 500 per ounce. But as soon as gold goes to 5,100, now they can mine it at $500 in cost to make that $100. So if that's like the cost, so it's the same with oil. When oil goes to $40 a barrel, it costs more to produce it. So that's a can you make money? Number 4 would be work hard and work smart. So it's too many people work really hard but not smart. So this can be a whole other topic on itself, but basically the one thing I like to say is successful entrepreneurs work smart, not hard. And one way of working smart is knowing what you're not good at. Everybody knows what they're good at, but if you know what you're not good at, then you can hire and outsource to other people. Unfortunately, we like to do the things we're good at and we neglect the things we're not good at. So if we don't fill that in with other people, we're going to fail or not be as successful and be cut in a rut. So that was number 4. Number 5, something I didn't come up with this, but I heard people always say, hey, man, prioritize your schedule. But the way I heard it better is, hey, schedule your priorities. So I think that's a different way of saying it. I'm not sure how that translates. But prioritizing your schedule, a lot of times we over choose or we think we can do more than a day than we can. So we have this big 20 task list and we only get to 8 of them. And that's 40%. We're super frustrated. But we underestimate what we can do in a year. So if we kind of, as a goal setter, and this is stuff I learned early on, is like you set daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, annual goals, decade goals. So these are all kind of goals. How do I achieve it? So if you set the big goals first, hey, where do I want to be in 10 years? Where do I want to be in 5 years? Where do I want to be in 2 years? Where do I want to be in 1 year? Okay, so, and then it kind of like, oh, what do I got to do every day? So when I wake up, I do something every day towards something. It doesn't mean I'm going to make money today from that. So if I'm going to recraft, number 1, research your craft. Number two, is there a demand for that product and service? Number two, once you find that, can you actually make money from that? It's number three. Number four is work smart, not hard. I can't get my four. And number five, prioritize your or schedule your priorities so you get the priorities done. Um, and if I had to give you one other just like great thing, if you don't do anything, too many people get caught up in dreaming. So let's say you have an hour of time to work. People dream for 55 minutes. Okay. There's lots of great ideas out there, but if you don't take action, they don't do anything. So my suggestion, if you had 1 hour, you spend 5 minutes dreaming and you spend 55 minutes taking action. It doesn't mean you're going to be right every time. It means you're going to stumble. It means you're going to take the wrong action. But the successful entrepreneurs will all tell you, you have to act. You have to do something. You can't sit and dream all day.
Right. So why you decided to become an entrepreneur? Tell us what's the story.
I mean, dude, it's in the blood. I've had lots of jobs, so I'm not too proud to work. I even had I worked for my on man, I had a ton of jobs, like even right after college. Started working for myself back in 2011, but then I even took a job from 13 to 18 with a really successful jewelry business here in Scottsdale, Arizona. But then I was almost 40 years old. I was 39. I'm like, oh, what am I doing? Like, I can do this on my own. I'm giving up building the wealth in jewelry. So I had to just break away. And I mean, it's hard when you have a paycheck, it's hard to give that up. But the entrepreneurialism is in my blood. And I can't, like, I would encourage anybody, if you think you have that bug, go take action and find something, a need in the market, and see if you can fulfill it.
So jewelry is a very competitive market, but if you know what you're doing, and I think there is a big reason why there is a lot of companies that do this, because clearly there is demand for it, and the product doesn't get expired. So tell us what's the good, the bad, and the ugly of the jewelry business.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, I have two businesses. One is I stock thousands of pieces of jewelry and I work with stores across the country. So they need product that I have. The other side is I have to buy jewelry. So I work with extensive dealers and consumers that come to me, stores that sell me. So I'm buying every day, I'm selling every day. So it's kind of like two different businesses. But look, with integrity, serving your customers, explaining, hey, this is why I'm paying what I'm paying. On the selling side, been doing this so long, they know what I'm doing. And most people that I sell to, they understand jewelry, so I don't even have to explain. When I do sell to direct to consumer, then yes, I'm having to explain more. Hey, this is why it's this price. Look, the more desirable, the more rare it is, the more value it's going to be. If it's not so pretty, but then you're just selling it by the metals and gemstone value. So there's kind of that mix of value versus super cool and crazy rare, and I sell everything in between. Kind of the challenging part is once I buy something, that person has the money. If I miss identified it, like I'm out the money. So there's definitely a lot of risk involved in what I do. Or if I buy a bunch of gold and I test it and I think it's gold, but it turns out not to be, I can't go get my money back. So those are kind of the ugly
You
sides.
need
And
to know
look,
what you're doing, right?
yeah, yeah. And look, I won't lie, like I've lost money. And even still, I mean, I've bought big estates where,
Even that you have a lot of experience,
oh
right?
yeah, you get fast. I mean, even in the last couple of years, I was buying an estate, and one of the rings, I'm looking at the appraisal, like a written thing, and I'm looking at the ring, and it says it was like a 2 carat diamond. So I bought it. Well, when I didn't really even loop it, I looped it. It was a cubic zirconia. So the appraisal was a natural diamond. It had been taken out, and so instead of me looking at the piece, I looked at the appraisal. So I paid thousands of dollars for a piece that was worth nothing. So look, I make mistakes all the time. I got to slow down.
The nature of business, right?
Exactly. But on the flip, so a lot of times we just want to talk on all the stuff we made a lot of money on. And don't get me wrong, I'm in this to make money, but I'm passionate and the people that want to work with me can just see that I really do care. I'm passionate about jewelry and gemology and just helping people make a right decision, whether it's on the buy side or the sell side. Just educating them and helping them make the right decision.
Right, but then if you store that and you provide it like a wholesaler to the retail, then you have a lot of capital block until you sell to your retail client. So there are challenges also in cash flow, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I always feel poor
Because
every
it's
day.
expensive. It's expensive, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's every day I feel like I'm spending more than that's coming in. Now, again, I'm buying assets, I'm doing it, so it's a challenge I have every day. In fact, I got to figure out how to come up with after this podcast, I have to go figure out how to come up with a bunch of money that I'm going to spend today because I have a big buy coming. So I that's kind
Oh,
of the
wow.
story.
You gotta buy more wholesale. Well, the good news is you don't need a big warehouse, right?
Jewelry's small. I mean, yeah, that's what's
Doesn't
cool about jewelry.
expire.
In fact, I always laugh like when people say, "Oh, you've had that for years. You don't want to own that." I'm like, "Hey, no, what do you mean? Next year I'm going to raise the price." So, if the longer you own it, maybe the price goes up with metal value or something. So, um, yeah, that's why I love jewelry. I mean, at the end of the day, too, it's artwork that you can wear. So, a lot of these higher end fancy pieces, nobody actually wears. So, someone say, well, that's ridiculous. Well, think of artwork on your wall. I mean, you're not wearing it, but every time you walk by it, maybe it puts a smile on your heart or your face, and you're like, ah, that's beautiful. You appreciate it. Same thing when you open up a jewelry case and you see
People
beautiful, like,
use
oh,
it to storage wealth, right?
well, yeah,
The
crystal
storage
wealth,
wealth.
but correct. Yeah, but it puts a smile on your heart. There's pieces I have that I've owned a long time, but they're like beautiful or a name brand piece. And I want to, every time my joke is people say, oh, don't you want to sell that? And I'm like, one, I'm going to raise the price, or two, like, no, if I own that the rest of my life, every day I take it out of the safe, I just get a smile. It's beautiful. There's other things that I can't wait to ditch and I'll give you the best price and let's go. But yeah, jewelry is this weird thing. Yeah, people are holding wealth. And yeah, I do know women that they're literally trying to spend majority of their wealth turning it into jewelry. I know there's Middle Eastern princes and stuff that have rooms full of rare, crazy gemstones. And so there's so much out there that just no one talks about. It's not audited. It's a crazy the amount of wealth in jewelry.
So mitigating the risk is about trying to have a little bit of everything, right? Just in case. Or
Yeah,
how you mitigate your risk.
totally. Yeah. No, look, you mitigate the risk. We have insurance. I happen to be a gun dealer, so I feel like that sets us a little bit safer. But yeah, there's a lot of risk. But look, I enjoy it. It's fun. And, I make it when I go out and buy too, they're educated risks. But yeah, and not just jewelry, real estate's coming, cars are coming, paintings come. So it's crazy the amount of stuff. I get like big silver flatware, you name it. If there's value, if I can make $1 from it, I'm going to try and make an offer.
And then distributing to retailers, right? All over US, all over the world. How you distribute your
Yeah, majority US, but I do trade shows. In fact, there's one coming up in Vegas that I do every year that gets a lot of Europeans and from around the world. There used to be, and then I do one in Tucson called GJX, which is back in February. This year was the first year we didn't get, usually a lot of Chinese and a lot of other like South Americans and even Europeans, but a lot didn't show up. I don't know if it was the tariff issue, but yeah. So I have been selling around the country. There is a great show or a couple shows in Hong Kong that I've been toying doing, but I'm just not sure. Just I've got little kids and the traveling. It sounds awesome. Plus, doing trade shows, one week costs you 20 plus $1,000. So you really got to make it profitable to make it, worth your time.
So you transition from employee to being on charge of your own boat. People think that oh wow, that's amazing. I wish that I have this courage to do it, right? People think that you can fit your own calendar, that you're your own boss. But tell us a little bit about that transition between employee and being your own boss, because it's different. When you are an employee, you even can tell the people, look, this is not my job. When you are an entrepreneur, everything is your job. So
That
tell
is
us
true.
about this transitional. What message do you have for people that is inspired by your story and they want to become an entrepreneur? Is it really for everybody, or you need to have a special type of character? Saying that, we're checking in the statistic at 86% of the entrepreneurs, they make less than $100,000 a year, so maybe it's better for them to have a job. So we only have 14% of those ones that can exceed the capital, but also you can have a great lifestyle business. You can have you don't need to make millions and millions and millions, but if you can fill your own calendar, do what you love, and provide decent uh, income for your family, that would be good. So what message do you have for people that they are on the edge? They are saying, like, when you were 40 years old, that they say, well, you know what, I'm not happy, I want to change direction, but they're in the edge and they never take the decision. What message do you have for them?
Yeah. Well, I'll start with what I tell my employee, man, I'm the janitor. So I clean the toilet at my building, a lot of the times, especially in the beginning. But then I digress back. The advice I would give employees now, look, be the best employee you can be to start. Okay. Show up. All you got to do is show up 5 minutes early and leave 5 minutes late. That's not a big thing. But that right there, get your job. And most jobs, like again, there are a few jobs where you really are worked to death and you can't do anymore. And those type of people, they just don't have time to even think of a side gig. But a lot of jobs have you like they get their work done in 3 hours a day. So if you show up 5 minutes early, leave 5 minutes late, get your job done, do really good, then go to other areas in the business and say, hey, how can I help you? I finished my work. Like literally by asking the owners, the managers, they're going to see you. Now you may get a manager that doesn't want you to come up, but look, one, do the right thing, live with integrity. The truth will set you free. I do believe that. But by doing that, think of when you're an employee, you're getting paid to learn somebody else's business. So go to every area, learn, if you're in sales, learn the accounting, learn the fulfillment, go talk to HR. You literally learn how a business runs while you're getting paid. So that's something that I really advise any person. You can learn a business while you're getting paid. Number two would say, hey, look, don't quit your job till you have some income. So, like I said, number one, I'm going to get my notes here, but number one on the list was the research or craft. Look, if you spend, 20 hours a week for 90 days, or whatever that works out to be, 3, 4 hours a day for 90 days, you can become an expert in any field. So if you can get paid to learn someone else's business, which is your current job, then you research a craft, become an expert in an area, then you research, is there demand? How do I make money if there is? Work smart, not hard, and schedule your priorities. Like it's going to flow together and you're going to adjust your product service on how I can make money and work smart. So, I mean, I'm making it sound really simple. I have failed at things. Look, I still try new things. I've got a couple startups going now that every day is a challenge, and I feel like we're pivoting depending on, hey, can I make money here? Like we go down a road, we spend a bunch of time and realize we can't make money. So I'm making it sound simple. Life is not simple, but I love these challenges, and I also take pride in helping other people make a living. So that is fun. But at the end of the day, dude, work hard in your current job, learn what you can before you take that step. Or as I've heard other entrepreneurs say, hey, don't step off the dock onto the boat till the boat is right there. If you're trying to jump to the boat from the dock, you're likely going to fall in the water. So wait till that boat is real close or you're making money.
So tell us a little bit more, Troy, about these startups that you're involved.
Well, so it started with kind of just consulting with AI. So I've got a close friend that has been big into AI the last couple of years. He's been helping me in my business kind of streamline with some AI product or, using AI in the business. And then it came on, we have a immigration lawyer now on the team. So we're working on some immigration software. As becoming an American is still what a handful of countries on the approved list, a lot of Canadians right now that are desperately trying to get into the US. So we're working on some kind of basic software to help people save money and then also provide some specialty consulting for people that necessarily have the money. They want to come into the U.S. but don't know where to go. Obviously, you do need lawyers, but we can, with our expertise, we can streamline it, get you there faster, and use less of the lawyer's time, which in turn saves you money. So with our fee and saving some on the lawyer fee, it's still at the end cost you a lot less money. So again, we're just finding a way to help people and make a buck while we're doing it.
So then, Troy, what are the you point out something interesting because you said that do a transition like be an employee, but on the side, try to have a side gig, see if you really like the entrepreneurial lifestyle
Yeah.
because sometimes it's not for everybody. Some people jump in, they say, well, you know what, it's not really for me. I'm more comfortable in the job that I have, right?
Totally.
Yeah. The other question is regardless mindset, right? Why until you were 40, you decided that you're going to achieve your life? And why did it happen early? Why sometimes we need to wait until the worst day of our life to become the best day of our life?
Yeah. Well, okay. So really, it was.
Why happen at
Uh,
40 and not at 20?
well, look, at 20, I started my own like clothing company. I actually went to fashion school in New
Oh,
York
wow.
City,
So you
and
have a story doing business, right?
yeah. So, but jobs I got offered were like 20 grand a year. It was a waste of my time, and I was like, oh, this is silly. So then that was like, so 2002, I lived in Texas for a year, was dating a girl, realized I didn't like Texas. That wasn't going to work out. Moved to Newport Beach to be a beach bum in 2003 and was struggling finding jobs, but I surfed a lot and just had, I was, did like travel notary, sold spring breaks, was like a bodyguard. I got kind of crazy jobs, but so I could surf. Then I went to a high-end gym training like sports athletes' wives and some high-end people. I knew I'd meet high-end people. A lady I trained there sold jewelry, so I got a job with her. I worked there 6 years, and then I was about 30, and that's when I first quit to work on my own. So I worked on my own selling estate jewelry back when I was 30. Then about 33, 3 years in, a guy offered me a job to pay a lot of money here in Scottsdale. I'd moved here. My daughter was 2 years old. And I was like, oh, wow, this is great. So it was a great move because I learned a lot of his business. Even though I don't live with regrets, I could say I stayed there too long. I was 5.5 years. I probably should have only stayed there two, but I stayed there five and a
Because
half
they pay
years.
you good, they make you comfortable.
Yeah, I
This
do. I
is
made
they there and they make you very comfortable, right?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, look, I had a company credit card. I could buy whatever I wanted. I traveled whenever I wanted. I did what I wanted. I mean, again, I obviously produced, what needed, but I was like, I was miserable. So that's when I was like 39, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I better. And God provided me the courage to quit because that was 2019. So I had one full year before COVID to build a business. Like, if I would have waited till COVID, that maybe I wouldn't have left. So that's why I see like God provided, oh, right the time. So that gave me a year to build up. So when COVID hit, it was devastating for like 3 months. There was no business, but I already had that year. I was digitally set up, and that actually really helped me. So I've picked up a lot of stores because I was the only wholesaler with product digitally mapped with great images and all that descriptions. I had thousands of pieces up. So that really helped me when no one could travel. But yeah, so I've kind of been, I've always been an entrepreneur. I have had jobs, and there's nothing wrong with the job because you get paid to learn. So don't look at it as negative. But at the end of the day, yeah,
100%, 100%.
yeah. But
Uh,
you ask or notice, hey, look, it's not for everybody. I mean, I what you say is, even my wife, struggles like making decisions, and maybe I don't want to be insensitive, but sometimes I'm like, hey, it doesn't matter what we're gonna eat for dinner. Like, just pick something. But because I'm literally have to make hundreds of decisions all day long, And I don't have time to think hard about them. It's just make a decision. So it's easy. Now, again, my wife will point out that I make wrong decisions, and that is correct. I do make wrong decisions, but you
Well,
got
an entrepreneur
you got to move.
is full of wrong decisions until something works.
Yeah. So if
It's
my
difficult to
advice,
understand.
you're right. If you're trying a side hustle and you're afraid to make decisions, and like it's hard for you to pick up the phone and call somebody to get something done, it may not be for you. And that's okay. You can still look, you still show up 5 minutes early, leave 5 minutes late, help everyone in your company. You're going to live a nice life and you're going to be happy and you're going to be respected and you're going to move up in that career because oh, look, if I have employees, all I want is loyalty and to work hard and they're happy. I'm actually not a micromanager at all. So I have another business, fastfixarizona.com, and it's two franchises in malls here in town. We repair jewelry and watches, and I'm really never there. I have a manager running it. Maybe that's at fault. They don't really, because I don't micromanage, maybe they could be more efficient. But look, they run it. There's not one right way to do things, so I let them kind of roll with it.
Yeah, yeah, and this is leadership, right?
Yeah.
When you give a space to the team, yeah, and depend on the culture that you embrace in the organization. I remember my first business, the employees at the beginning, no, but after I became a leader, the whole idea of the was let's show Harry that we can do better without him, right?
Oh
That
yeah.
was the whole motto. They want to prove they were better than that
No,
they can do it that when I'm around. Yeah. I got my manager that was telling me, Harry, the only problem in this company is you. Just stay at home. Don't worry.
that's
You come
funny.
here, you talk to all of us, you don't let us work, you start to say new ideas, you get us distracted. Stay at home. We go once a month. We tell you how we do with the company. We got this, and it was amazing. They literally sent me on, which is it was a fantastic experience. And coming back, the same thing. My first business was in property. We're doing rent to rent in London, renting the whole house and renting the units. And but guess what? And I mean, it was no good. I went. I thought this. I have this side gig, and I decided, you know what? I'm gonna find a job in the Hilton in London, in Canary Wharf, because my English was not good. Got a job in room service. Okay. But guess what happened? Because I'm friendly with everyone and I speak with everyone. In 3 weeks, I'm friends from the whole hotel, and everybody showing me everything about procedures, about renting rooms, about the chef were selling, showing me procedures and systems and processes. And I was excited that they said, Harry, come, let's show you a book. And in that book, it was clearly detailed how you wash a plate, what type of the soap you need to have, what type of cloth you have to use. So over there is detail until the point how things are done, which is I use a lot of things, not only a lot of things that I'm learning with the people from the reception, show me how to rent rooms and so on, but also about system and scaling in general. So the Hilton was a great school for me, regardless that I was doing the room serving. And I actually built the business in the lift of the Hilton because this was the only time that there were no supervisors around. So if they order a burger, I'm thinking, okay, floor 28, floor the higher floor I go, I close in the lift, and then I can make the phone calls to find tenants or find new landlords. And it was in the lift of the heat. I was doing my side gig and learning a lot from it. So if you get paid while you're learning, it's fantastic. And if you have a chance at work, in my case, it was the lift, right? It was the the bosses rarely they are in manager that in the lift. They are either in the office or in the operation, in the restaurant or whatever. So the lift it was a free space that we can. Every other in the room service, you have to take the lift, right? Because it got so many floors. So it gave me a lot of side time to get something done, and then after I finish, I would go out and do my business. So on the side until grow more and making more in the business that actually at the Hilton. So Troy, if people is excited with this conversation, how people can find you, how this process works, uh, in all
Yeah,
the business that you're involved.
Yeah, at platinum.1911 on Instagram is great. Also, the Troy Perkins on Instagram is my personal. Platinum1911.com, fastfixarizona.com. Those are kind of the two businesses on hard right now. But yeah, check us out if you
So
need to
tell us
sell
what they
jewelry.
do. What they do. Platinum on 911. What they do versus the other one.
So platinum1911.com has a couple thousand pieces of fine estate jewelry on them with great pictures. We're loaded kit in Scottsdale, Arizona. But yeah, if you want a piece, you can reach out to us by email or you can schedule an appointment here in Arizona. That's in fastfix.com, our franchises in malls. One's in Scottsdale Fashion Square and one's in Chandler. So both in Arizona here. We've got a full-time jeweler and watch technicians 7 days a week, and we're repairing jewelry and watches. We also sell jewelry and do custom work, but mainly, having the jeweler on house in the mall. So in the one mall in Scottsdale, a bunch of high-end retailers like Louis Vuitton. I know there's an Hermes coming in, like Tiffany, Cartier, Bulgari, all those big names, Breitling, David Yurman, all those companies too. They use us to repair their stuff. So again, we also have customers
Oh
come in.
wow.
So
Oh
yeah,
wow.
and
Amazing. High
yeah,
end.
we're actually yeah. So no, well, we can do anything, but we loved it. So that's the service end versus Platinum 1911 is the selling end of jewelry.
Roy, thank you so much for the podcast. I really appreciate it. And
Hey,
for
thank
all
you,
of you
Harry.
following the podcast, see you in our next episode of One Stop. Oh, brave entrepreneur like Troy, break that wall and achieve the first thing. Bye for now.
Bye. Oh, sorry, I wanted to say, man, that's awesome. Your story is kind of what we discussed earlier. Is hey, man, you worked hard, you made friends with everybody, and then you kind of learned everyone's business, and that brought you up. So that's fantastic.
We have similar story. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome, man.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.